I was 21, I guess maybe 22 when I went on Knowles. And I was interested because I went to the University of North Carolina, and I was not a Morehead Scholar, but some of my friends were. And to be a Morehead Scholar, you had to either do National Outdoor Leadership School or Outward Bound. And because I had a business degree from Carolina, I was looking to do something before I went into the real world working. And so I felt like the leadership program of National Outdoor Leadership School would be good. I went on the Knowles session that's called A Semester in the Rockies. It was a 3-month program, and it started out with cross-country skiing, and then we did desert backpacking. We did, the next one was whitewater rafting and kayaking, and then we did caving, and then we did rock climbing. I guess my main goal when I went into Knowles is that I wanted to do something that was totally out of my comfort zone. I grew up in a small town, lived there my whole life, lived even in the same house for all but my first year of life. And when I went to college, I went to school 2 hours away, and although I made all new friends there and didn't hang out with my high school friends, a lot of my high school friends did go to college with me, and it was a comfort to have them there. So I wanted to do something totally different. I'd never been camping before. I'd never, well, I did, I think one night with the Girl Scouts, and we like opened a bunch of cans and threw it over a bonfire, but other than that, that was the extent of my camping experience. Oh, I would say the main condition that we had was actually the first session was the cross-country skiing session, and we had sub-zero temperatures. We were in kind of the northern part of Utah, and we actually built a snow cave. We pounded the snow with our skis, and then we dug out the middle and we slept inside of that cave. Well, because it was so cold outside, we actually had to sleep with our boots on. So we would get in a sleeping bag with our boots on, climb in, and sleep with our boots on the whole night, because if you don't sleep with your boots on, they'll freeze. And I guess the other main thing that I remember from as far as conditions is you would wake up every morning with a wet face because your breath would melt the inside of the cave. And so your face was wet, but you were freezing cold. Oh, and one more thing. Before we would go to bed at night, we would put 2 huge scoopfuls, I would say they were probably 1/3 of a cup each, of margarine in a mug of hot cocoa, and we would drink that before we went to sleep so that the fat would keep us warm throughout the night. What did I enjoy most about Knowles? Well, I enjoyed, again, just doing something totally outside of my comfort zone. I was the only Southerner on the whole trip, which everyone just kind of got a kick out of that. And I made a lot of new friends. There were 17 of us. One person didn't make it the whole 3 months. He quit. But there were 16 of us, and we were from all parts of the country. And it just really broadened my horizons as far as experiencing different people than maybe I would choose as friends, and having to learn to live with them. And then I guess my least favorite thing was not having toilet paper. I didn't have toilet paper for 3 months. You know, I think the main way that Knowles affected my life is that it put me in a reflective state. I'm kind of a doer. I don't really think about things a lot. And we actually had a fasting period. It was a 4-day fast where the only thing we could do was drink chicken broth and water. And during that period, you know, I guess you hear about the people who, you know, have weird experiences when they fast. And it was a little strange, but it really forced me to think about things. And that's the point when I decided that I wanted to get back to school and get an MBA degree with a focus in marketing. And although I didn't really use that after I got the degree, because I stayed home with my kids for 14 years, when I went back into the workforce 3 years ago, it really, really helped to have that on my resume. And so I think that made a big difference in what I was able to do after I had kids.